I got stuff for you.
Holy moly. I need to get some snakes and release them around my house.
But they love eating people. They love eating kids.
These guys are the scientists of the supernatural, lecturers leaving lessons for inquiring laymen. They are applying the scientific method to a world that baffles science. They are the cryptids of the corn.
Every day that you open your mouth,
I know, right?
I'm more convinced that you're abducted by aliens.
No.
And it just stood up. I mean, it just like kept going and going. And she goes, what the?
These are idiots.
I was laughing reading this because I already knew how you would feel.
Idiot. What part of the story fits your balloon?
Well,
This isn't a UFO. But who else has big black wings and red eyes?
Batman.
Well, Mothman.
Oh yeah, Mothman.
Well, everyone, I think we know exactly what it is. So say it all with me. It was the sandhill crane.
Would you try it?
No.
You wouldn't eat it?
No.
Why?
Because they're probably toxic. There'd be a lot of poop in my pants. Seen a 6-foot alligator go swinging through the air and slam into a tree. Welcome back to Cryptids of the Corn podcast. I am the great and powerful Mystery.
Oh, and I am a J clone that needs hair.
Today, we're going to talk about changelings.
Ooh.
Bum, bum, bum. This is Doppelgangers Part 2.
Doppelgangers Part 2.
The original, the changeling.
The original. Well, before we get started, I have to announce.
Oh, yeah, your clan.
I have to do a shout out for my group on this stinking game I've been playing for, I don't know, probably like 5 years now on my phone, maybe
Probably
longer.
30.
Which I don't even know why.
You haven't had that phone for 5 years.
No, it transferred over from the old iPhone I had.
I don't know how you played anything on that iPhone.
This is the only game I ever played.
I don't know how it could even open it.
It's like the only game that I ever it's the only game I play. This is I call it my pooping game, you know? Everyone needs something like that, you know? When you're on the toilet. When I was younger, it used to be magazines or shampoo bottles, or the handheld Yahtzee game was a family favorite that we all played.
We had Deal or No Deal.
Ooh, that sounds like a fun one. Oh, I love those little. But anyways, my clan, the game is Empires and Puzzles. Yeah, so fun. I'm sure you guys have seen ads for it. I've been a long-time player. And my alliance that I'm with, I want to shout out my alliance, the Middle Ages. Shout out to, I don't even know how to say his name, but Hayubai. That's how I always said it. Lilo, I don't know. The newest member, Hamish. There's Phoenix, all the proud to be, all of us that are here. I've been with you guys for about like 5 years, and so I'm finally giving you the shout out you so deserve on the podcast. And if anyone wants to join our alliance on that game, again, that's the Middle Ages. So you can join. We'll approve you. I am an elder, I think, or a co-leader now in our alliance. After actually today, now I'm looking at is exactly. I've been in our alliance for 1,600 days exactly. So how many years that is? That's about roughly 350. Oh, gosh. 3, 6, 12, 15, at least 5.
You said 1,600 days?
Almost 5 years. Yeah, I think so.
4.38 years.
Okay, so a little over 4 years I've been in this alliance, this specific alliance, the Middle Ages. That's our name. So find us on there, Empires and Puzzles.
All right, changelings.
Changelings.
And I have a lot of information here about changelings, everything from local folklore to the different countries that have changeling stuff in it. So we're going to do a pretty big deep dive into changelings. Now, before I even get into changelings, I want you to tell me what you think a changeling is exactly.
Well, my guess would be somebody that, not somebody, something, some creature, some being, some, I don't know, something of the sorts that can transform its physical appearance to match other ones it has seen around. I don't know. To match other things that it has bared witness to. So like Mystique from X-Men. She would be a changeling in my head. Is that kind of line up?
No.
No?
No.
Well, what's she? What's Mystique?
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Blue skin, orange hair? Changing into anybody? Like at the whim of a...
I guess kinda, but you'll see.
Okay.
Changelings don't have aren't normally good.
True. I guess she had both sides. She was good and bad.
She wanted to kill the president, and then she became the president.
So did she kill him?
No.
Oh, she just assumed his identity.
Mm-hmm.
See, good and bad.
Anyways, a changeling, also historically referred to as an off or an oof, and that is AUF on off.
AUF, okay.
Or an oof, which is OAF.
Oh, oaf.
Oof.
I think I've called you an oaf before.
You have. This is a human-like creature found through much of European folklores, and we're gonna there's dramatic differences across the board, European folklores and some American folklores that have changelings. According to the folklore, a changeling will normally substitute left by a supernatural being that has kidnapped a human being.
Okay.
So they leave this changeling in its place, so that
like the birds that kick out the eggs and leave their own.
Yeah.
Same difference.
Yeah, let's see. Well, there's a bunch of birds that do that, but I think it's mostly mockingjays that do it. Mockingbirds will take them out, and that's why some of those birds have crazy colored mouth patterns. It's because it's a defense mechanism. So when they open their mouth, they'll see which one's their kid versus not.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so the changeling itself is normally, in most folklores, not the creature taking the kid. It is a creature left behind to assume the role of the kid or the person that is taken.
Okay. So a changeling is like a homunculus that they leave in the place.
Interesting. You chose that word. So sometimes a changeling was a stock, which is a piece of wood that was made magically to resemble a kidnapped human. More often or not, a changeling, though, was a supernatural being made of magic itself to look like the human that it was kidnapped.
Okay. Oh.
So it's very important.
Well, I don't think you would know the answer, but I'll ask the audience at home. Someone out there has to know. Is Mokujin from Tekken a changeling?
He is. I have no idea. I don't know who that is.
He's made of wood, but he imitates. He's a character. You know what Tekken is? It's a fighting game.
Sure.
Okay, it's just a fighting game. It's awesome. I loved it. But he was a special character where he's made of wood. Like he's like a wood body, wood arms, wood head.
Groot?
No, not like that. Not like actual cut logs.
Like he's carved wood.
Like logs.
Just
like his
logs
arms
stuck
are long.
together.
A log, yep. And like with metal joints, like balls for joints, like metal. That's his hands are big metal balls, his elbows big metal. But his special ability is he imitates any other character from the game. So like their whole move set, he can do it. But it's only for that match. So whenever you load into a match, he's randomly somebody else's character, basically for their whole move set. So it's pretty interesting because he's his body size will never change. So like certain moves that certain people don't have the range for, their moves have longer range with the Mokujin character. But the fact you said they're made of wood though, and then they imitate.
They can be. So that would be specifically called a stock.
A stock.
So imagine
changeling.
A stock changeling is the wood one.
So he is the
And
stock.
normally it wears off. For that specific one, it normally starts wearing off after time.
Okay.
So supernatural beings that are blamed for the stealing of children. These are not the changelings. I want to make that very clear.
Okay.
The changeling is a product, whether it is the being or an inanimate object.
Or a stock.
Or it should be the inanimate object.
Right.
There's a being doing this. So the beings that are blamed for doing this are the Fae, the demons, just demons in general, the trolls, and the Nereids. So usually the kidnapped human was a child, but that is not always the case. Specifically in Scandinavia and Ireland, these are many adults are taken, and the adults often see their changeling before they get taken.
Oh, that's not good.
So think back to the first episode, doppelgangers.
Yeah, you've seen your doppelganger.
Or you're seeing somebody else's doppelganger.
Oh, right, true. Like the
Like
story
you see
of
your mom, your
the
dad.
mom, the brother. Yep.
Mm.
I just remember that from last week.
So there's a whole side of changelings where some modern folklorists believe that the replaced child story may result for developmental conditions such as autism and other things, where a child doesn't act traditionally like a child.
Okay.
So like when we'll talk about where we kind of look at for changelings as babies, like maybe the child doesn't laugh. That can be an autistic trait, or doesn't smile and stuff like that. Well, now we understand that, they process emotions differently in modern day.
Yes.
But if let's say you're a mom of 5, and you've had 5 kids before, this is your 6th kid, and they act nothing like your other 5.
Or what was it? Mama Leeds?
Yeah.
Her 13th
13th
child? Just a little different.
Well, she cursed it to the devil.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's why. It wasn't autism.
I don't think it was autism.
Because I like the Jersey Devil. It's just on the spectrum. This is the extreme version, though.
If you're on the spectrum and you have wings,
gosh, that's so horrible.
That's a different spectrum.
Yeah, the supernatural one. You had a demon cursed into it. Yeah.
But that's just some of it. Down syndrome's also thrown up there a lot.
Yeah.
Where it's just the baby looks slightly different. I actually have a friend that their son has Down syndrome. He just turned 2.
Yeah.
Happy, lovely little boy. But, in the 17, 16, 15, 1200s, what do you do? If you don't know anybody.
Imagine. I can't even imagine.
There's much less people. So those conditions are much rarer.
Yeah.
So you probably don't know anybody that's ever, seen a person with Down syndrome or a kid with Down syndrome. Like I said, this is your 8th kid, and you freak out. So it has to be a changeling. It has to be, something left.
I could see that, yeah.
So, but we'll talk about that separately here in a little bit. So descriptions. A changeling is typically identified via several traits, which can vary extremely from culture to culture. In Irish legends, a fairy child may appear sickly and will not grow in size like a normal child. They may have notable physical characteristics such as a beard or long teeth.
Oh, that's creepy.
So it is a small in Irish folklore for the changelings. At first it looks like your baby, but will not put on weight, loses weight. It's really sickly looking, very, very thin and gaunt. Will have long teeth sometimes, or even facial hair. Those kind of things.
Which is just it getting older, right?
Yeah.
It just, those features grow. Like a beaver.
They may also display extreme intelligence far beyond their years, and they can possess uncanny insight. This is stories of 1-year-olds talking in full conversations with their parents and that kind of stuff. A common way that a changeling could identify itself is through displaying unusual behaviors when it thinks it's alone. When it's not being watched, it'll act completely different.
Yeah.
So you can catch it. Like they'll a lot of times, stories they're peeking in windows and they're seeing their baby jump around or walk around like it's a 6-month-old baby and it's walking around getting stuff out of the kitchen.
Oh.
So, like I said, jumping about, dancing, or playing instruments that a 6-month-old should have no skills with.
Wait, how old's your daughter?
A year.
Oh, okay.
She can dance, but I've never seen her pick up a guitar and start playing it.
Okay, that would. But
that would be.
Her dance moves, though, are they're pretty good.
She has only 2 dances.
And it's good.
Every song.
She's got them down.
She ripped the volume knob off of Dad's big speaker.
Oh, okay. Couldn't turn up to 11, huh?
She was playing with all the dots. She was trying. Though the last example was only found in Scottish folklore, which is the playing of instruments. Like if you leave an instrument out, there was a lot of them saying, like you leave a violin out and they'd walk out of the house and go in the yard and you'd hear a violin start being played while you're outside. So a human child might be taken due to many factors: to act as a servant, the love of a human child, or just for malice.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So any of these, reasons. There's a lot of stories that the changelings or the fae or the demons or whatever use human children as batteries. So that they keep them. So whether the changeling, let's say your changeling starts losing appearance, that means your child in the fae realm is getting very sick or dying.
Basically, Back to the Future.
Where he starts disappearing?
Yeah.
Kind of. Well, the appearance of the changeling is supposed to directly correlate with the health of the human in the fae realm.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts about that?
You reminded me of, the Back to the Future thing. You think remember Ed, and Eddie?
Mm-hmm.
You think that plank was the beginnings of a changeling?
He's the end result of a changeling after the magic wore off.
Oh, see, I feel like that.
He had a little brother. He had a little brother.
What's his? Well, I can't remember his name.
Johnny and Plank.
Johnny, yeah. No, it wasn't Johnny. Johnny was the one with the braces.
Oh, you're right.
I can't remember his name, but see, he was plotting the whole show to turn probably Johnny into a changeling. That's funny. That's what it was. He was plotting on turning Johnny. The plank was just the changeling he was crafting, I guess, or building up, but I can't even remember his name. Is that what you're looking up right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the character sheet.
That's my guess. He was planning on turning Johnny into a changeling. So
see, I think it's the opposite.
So
he had a brother, and that was a changeling, and then after the magic wore off, he's just a piece of wood. But he's already like, this is my little brother.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I can see it going both ways. Yeah. Maybe that one makes a little.
It
more
is
sense.
Johnny.
Well, Johnny's Johnny
2x4 is his name.
Oh, then what's the kid with the braces?
Pulling it up.
Because I swore he was Johnny. Maybe I'm
Jimmy.
wrong. Oh.
Jimmy has braces. It's Johnny 2x4.
Okay, see, we were close.
No, I was right.
I know. See if you catch that. We were close. We were almost right together.
Anyways, most often, though, it is thought that the Fae exchange the children. So they'll trade their kids like the parasitic birds.
Yeah.
Where they just want safer and easier conditions and less work on them.
Yeah, let them take care of it.
And even in some rare cases, reported that elderly fairies will exchange their self for a human baby, and the old fae could live in comfort, being coddled by the human parents.
Okay.
So it's this dirty old man stole your kid so you could take his place.
So he could, yeah.
He could be breastfed and be bathed and all of this.
There was that. When that actually happened, though, there was a little girl.
Now, okay, we're not going to talk about that.
Okay.
Because that is a Patreon episode. Because there's no proof whether she was elderly or not. Because they're it's a whole big mess, and it's still an illegal battle, and I don't want to bring it up.
All right, Patreon exclusive.
Yeah.
Hop on over to Patreon. That's probably and just to plug ourselves for a second. That's probably the best way you guys can support us right now is just through Patreon. So if you want to support us, that's one way to do it. We really appreciate it.
For $10,000 would be great too. I'll give you the PO box.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Well, as long as it's a check, it's fine.
I guess. Yeah. I guess you can't receive anything unless you ask for it, right?
A check. I mean, I'll take a check for any amount of cash. But $10,000 would be perfect for some of our future endeavors.
Gosh.
What's funny about that?
Nothing.
I don't get what's so funny about that. So simple charms are such as inverted coats and open iron scissors left when a child is sleeping are thought to ward off the Fae. Other measures include a constant watch over the children. So yeah, iron is the Fae don't like iron.
Okay.
It's all kinds of stuff. Turning your coat inside out for some reason.
They don't also like that.
Do it. Whether it's kind of like the ancient vampire rules as well, where it confuses them.
Okay.
That kind of stuff. You ever I think it's Philippine vampires. I may be wrong. Where you can throw like rice on the ground and they stop and count it all.
Oh, you're right. I don't remember which one it is though, but that sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like the Rain Man, like where they drop all the toothpicks. They have to.
Mm-hmm. They have to. Folklorist D.L. Ashman proposed in his essay called Changelings that changeling tales illustrate an aspect of family survival in pre-industrial Europe. A peasant family subsequently frequently depended upon the productive labor of each member. It was very difficult to provide for a person who was a permanent drain on the family's scarce resources. So the fact that the changelings' ravenous appetite is so frequently mentioned indicates to the parents that these unfortunate children saw the continuing existence as a threat to the sustaining of the entire family. Changeling tales support other local historical evidence and suggested infanticide was very frequently a solution in these times.
What's that mean?
Killing an infanticide.
Oh, gosh.
So what this folklorist is saying is that the times are so tough that every family member had to put in, and a baby does nothing besides drain for a long time. So that this may be a way of people in very dire situations rationalizing infanticide. So killing their kids. Well, it's not my kid, it's a changeling kid.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Okay. I get it. It's just dark. Very dark.
I would starve to death before any of my kids starved to death.
Yeah.
But I also didn't grow up in the Dark Ages.
Oh, true. True. We're growing up in the informational dark ages, kind of.
Fairies would also take adult humans, especially newlyweds and new mothers. Young adults were taken to marry fairies, leaving a changeling in their place, while new mothers were often taken to nurse fairy babies in fairy nurseries.
That sounds kind of cool.
So moms were always a big target. Young newlywed women and mothers were big targets of changelings.
Okay.
So think about the stories we talked about in Doppelgängers.
Yeah.
60% of the ones, and I didn't even read all of them, were all moms.
Moms? That's weird.
Moms and women.
Coinky dink?
Just saying, it's a through line.
Ain't it odd?
Ain't it odd? That house
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Looks like a facade for training death squads, proclaiming jihad. We're just saying,
Ain't it odd?
I can't not do it.
I know.
It's like the vampire with rice.
Yeah, that's your version of
It's
it.
a
Yeah.
compulsion.
Yes.
I need to count the rice. Oh gosh. Often, when an adult was taken instead of a child, the object, such as a log, was left in the place of the stolen human, enhanced to look like the person. The object in place of the human would seem to be so sickly and die very often.
Okay.
To be buried by the human family, while the living human was among the fairies. Bridget Celery, that's her last name, is one of the most well-known cases of the adult thought to be a changeling by her family. Her husband killed her, attempting to force the fairies to return his real wife. And that is a whole story I've heard on other podcasts, just the episode about Bridget.
Yeah. Did she come back?
No. He was going to go to jail, and then he pled changeling, and he got out.
Huh.
Because his wife kept visiting, and I'm going to give you the short version real quick. His wife kept visiting a fairy ring near their house.
Okay.
And he kept telling her, "Don't do that. You're going to get taken."
Yeah.
And she was just la la la. And one day he came home, and she was like a whole different person.
Yeah.
She went from a very happy-go-lucky, like frolicker, to this death watch woman.
Yeah.
And he started like for months dealing with this lady. And everybody said like everything from head injury, like the non-supernatural stuff.
Okay.
Let's say some people thought she suffered a head injury while she was out doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that was her reason for temperament. Depression was set it on. I think they just had had 3 or 4 kids. So postpartum depression was thrown out there a lot.
Bacterial infection?
It could be a million things.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't have to be Fae.
Yeah.
But he didn't go to prison, I believe, because of Fae.
Interesting.
But he also involved, like, for weeks or months, other members of the community to help him.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a known thing that he was dealing with.
It wasn't just something on a whim.
I don't think he just killed her to kill her, is
Right.
what I'm saying.
And then blame fairies.
And then blame fairies. I think he did kill her because he was I think he did believe she was not a human.
Yeah.
And was sick and like wanted his wife back.
Yeah.
And then he killed her. So he may have killed a fae.
So is that set like some court precedents?
I think this was 14 something. So no.
Oh. What, are you making that up?
It was not recent.
Oh, okay.
It was very long ago.
Okay, just checking. I don't know. You know how this legal stuff works. Lawyers are always going to find those loopholes.
In medieval Scandinavia, it was believed that trolls were considered to be more responsible to raise, or they were raised by humans instead of their own kind.
Makes sense.
So, especially troll royalty would like to switch out their kids with human kids.
Ah, so they come back with some like morals.
Yeah, dignity and stuff like that. And the opportunity to give a human child give this child a human upbringing.
Doesn't that reflect more though on the troll parents than it does the trolls themselves?
But remember, we talked about this with Troll Society, that they would raise the humans, and that was one of the kings of the trolls. The first human king of the trolls was a human that was taken and swapped out.
Yeah. So just humans are superior. That's why the trolls live underground.
Is it why they live underground?
I would assume so.
Some believe that trolls would only take unbaptized children. So since once a child is baptized, therefore they received into the Catholic faith, the trolls were powerless to abduct them. Beauty in a human child and young women were particularly traits that invoke brightness and reflectivity, such as blonde hair and blue eyes, or silver eyes, are said to very, very much attract the fae. And to perhaps find their precious in these traits. They really want those traits.
That's why they're after me, huh?
Yeah. In Scottish folklore, the children might be replaced with fairy children in the Tith of Hell, which is the best known for the ballad of Tim Lin. According to common Scottish myths, a children born with a caul, which is a part of the amniotic membrane across their face, is a changeling and will soon die.
Okay.
Which is, you've seen it. It just looks like a red mark on a kid's face.
Probably then.
It's just a piece of, like it said, an amniotic membrane. So from inside the womb.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's very common anymore. I think we have a lot of stuff to kind of help that not happen.
Yeah.
But I know people that have had this.
Okay.
It just, I mean, you would see it. It doesn't look like a burn or nothing like that, but it's...
Is it kind of like I went to school with someone, they were born like on their lip, like their...
I think that's a hair lip.
Yeah. Is that like similar?
No,
Okay.
that's a different birth defect.
Okay.
Where I know now we can fix it pretty well where...
Yeah. Even hers, I remember them, as we were growing up in school, they would do like a surgery she had like a couple of them.
The reason they call it a hair lip is because in the olden days when they would fix it, you would look like you had a rabbit face.
Oh, okay.
Because the way they would do it.
Oh, that kind of a hair. I never understood it. I just thought that was where mustaches go.
Oh, no. It's because it's a piece of the hard palate missing.
As a kid, that's what I always thought this whole time. It's just, as a kid, you're a little kid. Why is it called that? Oh, it's where mustaches are, hairs. Okay,
rabbit.
hair, lip. Oh, it makes sense. No, I didn't know that. All right, I learned something right now.
Good.
That's good.
Gosh.
Would have never known. Would have spent the rest of my life thinking that.
So, and this part of it could be where, in the old days, an amniotic membrane, you probably have other issues during birth, so the child may die very quickly. So that's where they called it a fey death or a fey birth.
Okay.
Or because it just during the olden days we had probably not as high a success rate in some of these more difficult births.
But too, I mean, what if they're right? What if someone I've had, family and it's personal people where they have pretty healthy pregnancies up until they're about ready. And then the child doesn't make it even before they're even born. What if it is something a little more supernatural than we think?
Could be.
They're getting swapped out.
Other folklore says that human milk is extremely necessary for fey children to survive. In any cases, either the newborn human child would be switched with the fairy baby to be suckled by the mother, or the human mother would be taken back to the fairy world to breastfeed the fairy babies.
Mm-hmm.
Human midwives are also thought to be necessary to bring fairy babies into the world.
I think it just depends on how much fey money they have to what they can afford with service.
Some stories tell of changelings who forgot that they were not human and proceeded to live human lives. However, some of these stories, changelings do not forget to return to the fey families, possibly leaving the human families without warning. A human child would be taken, may often stay with their fey family forever. Feeling connected with the changeling's fate, some families merely turn their changelings loose into the wild. So again, whether this is actual or this is that struggling,
Yes.
There's a lot. Like changelings are a weird one to tie into.
Yeah, it is.
Some folklorists believe that fairies were memories of inhabitations of various European regions who were driven into hiding by invaders. So they were just inhabitants that lived up there.
Okay.
And then, when when the Romans and everybody started coming up into Europe, they just went into hiding. They held the changelings had occurred. The hiding people would exchange their sickly children for healthy children of the occupying invaders as a way to replace them.
Okay.
So they were infiltrating their invaders.
That makes sense.
So we want to talk about...
They're attacking from within.
We'll take an ad break, and then we'll start talking about some other folklore, specifically with changelings.
All right. Sounds
ready?
good. Yeah. Well, things are looking good for the Jamboree this year so far.
True, but I wonder if there's anything else that can make this event even more awesomer.
Well, there's really only one person that could be the judge of that.
Hey, that's a great idea. Let's give him a call.
Two whoops and tree knocks. Sasquatch is there.
Hey guys, what's up?
Well, we're going over the schedule for the Jamboree. Well, you wanted to see what you think.
All right, well, let me take a look here real fast. Okay, so the VIP tickets are $50 a piece, and that gets you into the Friday night dinner and meet and greet with the speakers and special guests. Monster costume contest? Well, that looks good. A free family room with activities for the kids? Well, that's outstanding. A Bigfoot calling contest. Of course, it looks like you're going to have a lot of food. Oh, good, and you'll have the craft vendors back. Last year, I actually found a squatchtopus. Well, let's see who the speakers are this year. Oh, you have Connor and Alexis Fiden, and Randy Bauer. Ron Murphy, outstanding. Oh, good, you guys will be speaking. Which J-clone is going to be there? That's my question. And Tony Merkel as well. Oh, good, you're going to have Jake Dressel back. He was excellent last year. And Brian Wolf. Why does that name sound familiar? Well, I have to tell you, gentlemen, having gone to a number of these events, this looks like it's going to be one of the best ones of the year. Say, will Tiny Toes be there?
Tiny Toes?
Yeah, the little guy that was there last year.
Oh, you mean Paul?
Yep. Tiny Toes will be there as well.
Tiny Toes.
Cool, well, this all sounds fantastic, guys, and I look forward to seeing you there. Until then, squatch dust!
Bye. Squatch dust.
What is squatch dust?
You know what goes good with squatch dust?
What is squatch dust?
Squatch dust is actually Bigfoot breath from Flavors of the Forest. It's freeze-dried garlic seasoning, 100% no filler, all garlic. You can find it at flavorsforest.com/corn, and they have all sorts of different flavors that match your taste profile. If you like garlic, this is the /1 garlic powder product on the market, in my opinion. That's Bigfoot breath at Flavors of the Forest, flavorsforest.com/corn.
All right, let's talk about some specific folklores. In Cornwall, which is where?
Cornwall? Is that Iowa?
England.
Oh, England. Wait, what am I thinking of? Stonewall Jackson.
Oh,
I don't know.
The Man Atoll stones in Cornwall are said to be fae or pixie gardens who have horrible curses on them. In one case, a changeling baby was passed through the stones for the mother to have her real child returned to her. Evil pixies had changed her child, and the stones could reverse the spell. So yeah, these little area could reverse bad magic.
Okay. That sounds nice. Is that what Stonehenge was?
Maybe a big one.
Yeah.
In Germany, the changeling known as you want me to try to pronounce the changeling name in German?
In German, sure.
Welschenberger.
Hey, oh yeah, Welschenberger.
Welschenberger.
That's probably wrong.
Welschenkinder. Keduf.
That's getting worse.
I can't say the last one because I swear there are 2 swears in this word in English.
Yeah, let's just not say it then. We're in Germany.
The last hit at the huge neck and the heads of the changelings is just what it translates to. Several methods are known in Germany to identify changelings and return the replaced child. So you can figure out your kid's a changeling, you can do stuff to fix it.
Okay.
Confuse the changeling. I've heard this one. Confuse the changeling by cooking and brewing in eggshells. This will force the changeling to speak, claiming its age and revealing its position beyond its, babiness.
You need to do what with eggshells?
Start cooking them and acting like you're going to eat the eggshells.
Wow. Okay.
They're like, what are you doing? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's just something. Now, it's not in their handbook.
Yeah.
Attempting to heat a changeling in an oven.
Okay.
Keep in mind, there's a chance it's your human baby.
Yeah.
Perhaps a lie, but the capacity to endure present. It's just putting a baby in an oven.
Yeah, it's probably not a good practice. I'd stick to the eggshells.
Hitting or whipping a changeling,
Yeah, I still like the eggshell.
which is a baby.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with the eggshells.
There's one more. A changeling must sometimes be fed with a woman's milk before replacing a child.
Okay. Interesting.
It's Germany. In German folklore, several possibilities parents are known for changelings. Sometimes it's the devil,
Makes sense.
who basically wants to steal a baby before it gets baptized. So if you try to baptize a changeling, bad stuff will happen.
Okay.
A female dwarf will do this. Trade out her baby for your baby. A water spirit will do this.
Okay.
And then a rugamuller
Ooh, those sound like fun.
Also pronounced Rugen mutter, like mutter.
Yeah.
Like your mutter.
Okay.
Which the first one is Rye Aunt, and then the next one is Rye Mother, which is a demonic woman that lives in cornfields and steals human children.
Ooh, that's not good. I hope they're not around here. We have plenty of corn.
Mm-hmm. So that's all I got for Germany.
Well, that's quite the variety.
Yeah, so if you think your kid's a changeling in Germany, apparently putting him in the oven and beating them until the changeling says it's a changeling or the child dies is the options.
Either way.
Or you cook eggshells.
Yeah, I just stick to the eggshells, crush them up, put them in a bottle, pretend you're going to feed it to him, and if he doesn't say nothing, it's your baby. Simple.
My babies will eat eggshells.
Yeah, they'll eat it like they don't care, so you know they're real. Yeah, ooh, it's not good. Why do
one
I
of
keep
the
eating
kids
it?
eats dirt and then looks at you like, this is gross. You're the one that's eating it.
That happened this past weekend.
It happened a lot. In Ireland. In Ireland. Looking at a new baby with envy, overlooking the baby, was dangerous. Because it would endanger the baby, who would fall victim to the fairy's power. So if you were either really, really envious of a baby, or if you were just overlooking a baby completely.
Like it wasn't even there.
Yeah. That baby's going to get grabbed.
Uh-oh.
So was admiring or envying a woman or a man was extremely dangerous, unless the person was adding a blessing at the end. The able-bodied or beautiful were in particular danger. So if you were already a beautiful woman and you were envious over somebody else, so let's say you already got dealt a pretty decent hand, and you were envious over somebody else, that would invite the wrath of the Fae.
Rightfully so.
Women are especially in danger in liminal states, being new brides and mothers. The liminal or transitional states.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Where like I'm a new mom, I'm a new bride, anything like that. Oh yeah, you get grabbed. Putting a changeling in a fire would cause them to jump up the chimney and return the human child.
Where's the human child come back from? It just pops back in.
They bring it back.
Yeah.
I think they did this in Hellboy, the new one.
Oh yeah.
It was like one of the first scenes.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there and they're like, he won't stop screaming. We don't know what's wrong with him. And he just takes a horseshoe and taps it and he starts talking like in a Cockney accent.
Oh, okay.
And he's just, Hellboy is just hitting him against the wall and like, come on, bring the baby back.
So it is a changeling.
Yeah. And they come in and Hellboy's just slamming their baby against the wall.
Yeah. No, I've never seen it.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. So still, at least one tale recounts a mother that was a changeling finding a fairy woman came to her home with a human child, saying that the other fairies had done the exchange, but she wanted her own baby back.
Okay.
So the other fairies had switched her baby out with the human baby.
Okay.
So she's bringing the human baby back in secret, wanting her fae baby back. The tale of surprised a changeling into speech. Once again, so in Ireland, they believe brewing eggshells is also told in Ireland as well as in Wales.
So there's something to it.
Where it's just doing something really odd.
Yeah.
I think that's more the moral of the story.
I like what you said. It's not in the handbook. They're just flipping through it.
Various legends also describe ways to foil a would-be fairy kidnapper. One is to shout, "Grim Angus corches them through," which just means I bless you and God bless you.
Okay.
So just God bless you, and then they burn.
Burst into flames.
Probably demons.
Yeah, probably.
Which would cause a fairy to abandon the child it was trying to steal and burst into flames. Another possible tactic was to insert oneself into an argument over who would keep the child. Shouting, "Give it to me," would trick the fairy into releasing the child back to you.
I could see that.
Just screaming at them until they...
At the end of the day, they're not the smartest things.
Well, they're creatures of habit.
Right.
They're creatures of habit. But yeah, the Isles of Man also have their own changeling legends.
I don't even know where that is.
I don't either.
I'll Google it while you're talking.
I have no idea. The Isles of Man were widely collected myths and superstitions concerning fairies. Numerous folks would tale of collected concerns supposed changelings. Sophie Morrison, in her Mannix Fairy Tales, which is 1911, included the tale of the fairy children who chose in Lily. The story of a child who supposedly was swapped by the fairies for a loud and unruly fairy child. This child is just too much for the fae to even deal with.
Okay.
So, make it a human problem.
Okay.
The English poet and topographer George Walton, who lived in the Isle of Man during the 18th century, cited the tales of reputed changelings that was shown to him, possibly children who inherited genetic disorders.
Okay. The Isles of Man is between England and Ireland.
Oh, okay.
The Irish Sea.
But yeah. Any questions about that one?
I don't know.
I have lowland Scotland and northern England. I believe that it was the elves that would do this. They would live in Elf Hills, which now is fairies and Fey Hills.
Okay, so same thing,
Yeah.
just different term.
Along with the beliefs in supernatural beings, in their view, could take spirit children away, and even adults in certain cases. Would take them back to Elfenmen, which is their world.
Okay.
Often it was thought that the baby would be snatched and replaced with a simulation of a baby, usually a male adult elf who liked to suckle on women.
Ooh. Don't look at me like that.
The real baby would be treated well by the elves and would grow up as one of them, whereas the changeling baby would often be disconnected and wearisome. Many herbs, salves, and seeds could be used to discover if a fairy folk and ward them off in any design. It was also believed to force a changeling to reveal itself. Unlike Germany, where they would just beat the child
Or put it in the oven.
or put it in the oven, in lowland Scotland and northern England, they would just put leaves on the kid,
Yeah.
and the kid would, ah!
Leaves and eggshells. Eggshells is the through line thing, though. It's like in The Sims. Type it in rosebud. You know what that means or no?
No.
It's the cheat code for money. And if you put a rosebud with a colon, semicolon after it and just held down the enter button, instant money flow.
So Poland, the Slavic spirits would exchange. You want me to try to say these names? Memamu
Okay.
or Borka.
Yeah, I remember that.
Borka is a Slavic spirit who would try to exchange babies, making them into udiments in the cradle. The changeling left were said to be notably different in appearance, either having abnormally large abdomens, usually small or extremely large heads, a hump, and arms and legs that were hairy, and long claws. It looks like an Ohio ear eater.
Oh.
Mamumin changelings would often have their first set of teeth pretty much compared to a human baby. Like they'd have a full set of human teeth instantly. To protect the child from being kidnapped by a Mamumin, the mother would tie a red ribbon around the baby's wrist, putting a red hat on its head and keeping it out of the moonlight. Other prevention methods included not washing diapers after sunset and never turning the head away from their baby when they're sleeping. Still, even if a Mamumin took a child, there are ways to force it to return. A mother would changeling child to a maiden, whip it. So the mother would take the changeling child to a maiden. They would then begin to whip it with a birch stick and pour water from an eggshell over it.
Uh-oh, that's where the eggshell thing comes from.
All while shouting, "Take yours, give back mine. Take yours, give back mine." Typically, the Mamumin would feel very sorry for their children being beaten and return the human baby very quickly.
Dang. Good thing they don't do an eye for an eye.
Yeah, you know, it's weird is a lot of these just they beat them.
Well, the demons, the changelings.
United States. Do you know there's changelings in the United States?
I only assume there would be.
There are some very rare instances of changeling beliefs being brought across the Atlantic by European settlers. The best attested case is in Iowa in 1876, where Miss Katie Cowell was taken by fairies and replaced with a woman that looked just like her.
Uh-oh. And then her husband?
And her husband beat her.
Yeah.
With
Is
eggshells.
that the same story?
No.
Okay.
No, they're very different. So there are some historical records. The King Charles I of England, so 1600 to 1649, was reportedly rumored to have been a changeling due to his peevish nature as a child, and his nursemaid's claims that he figured apparently mysteriously at his bedside and cast a cloak over the sleeping baby's cradle. So King Charles may have been a changeling, King Charles I.
I would believe it.
Children identified as changelings by the superstition were often abused or murdered, like we talked about before.
I mean, look at all the British royalty. They're all like...
I'm talking about in general. This is now. Like a lot of the children that were classified as changelings,
Yeah.
not a lot of them got returned.
Okay.
A lot of them were just beaten to death outside
Well,
because they said they were changelings.
sometimes it's just the only way.
Because they probably were just autistic kids that.
Or they were
didn't
just
understand.
bad.
I could see that too, just being unruly kids and just.
Yeah, being royalty and like.
It's nothing to do with royalty right now. I'm not talking about royal. I'm just talking about changelings in general.
Oh, just in general. Okay.
I just mentioned King Charles the First once.
Okay.
I'm talking about in general.
Okay.
Changelings were often just taken outside and beaten to death
Fair.
because they didn't understand them. They didn't want to deal with them.
King Charles is probably one that should have been and never was.
2 19th century cases reflect the belief in changeling. In 1826, Anna Roach bathed Michael Lee, a 4-year-old boy who was unable to speak or stand, 3 times in a flash. He drowned on the 3rd time. She swore she had merely attempted to drive the fairy out of him.
Oh.
So she drowned a small disabled 4-year-old.
Yeah, she was baptizing him.
Yeah.
That would have been a better defense, I guess.
So she went to trial, and the jury acquitted her on the murders.
All right, so there is some sort of loophole here.
In 1895, Bridget, which we talked about earlier, was killed by several people, including her husband and her cousin, after a short bout of illness, which was probably just pneumonia.
Oh, and they thought she was a changeling?
Yeah. Local storyteller Jack Doon accused Bridget of being a fairy changeling. It is debatable whether her husband Michael actually believed that she was a fairy, or instead just used the excuse to kill her in a rage. The killers were convinced that it was manslaughter rather than murder. The killers were convicted of manslaughter rather than murder.
Okay.
Even after the death, they claimed to be convinced that they killed a changeling, not the real Bridget.
Okay. Is there laws against killing changelings?
You get manslaughter because they couldn't prove it.
Mm-hmm. That's the hardest part, proving it.
There's even changeling stories in Africa. The Igbo tribe, people of eastern Nigeria, traditionally believe that a woman who has lost numerous children, whether stillborn or early in infancy, was being tormented by an obaji,
Okay.
which is a malicious spirit that reincarnates itself over and over and over again, taking basically the souls of her babies. One of the most commonly prescribed methods of ridding oneself of an obajin was to find and destroy its. Now, this is not an Ouija, an Iowa Ui, which is a buried object that ties it to the mortal world.
Okay.
So it's like a little doll.
Oh.
So a lot of times they're in a ring,
Hmm.
a fey ring.
Oh, yeah, I figured that. Or sometimes they're in a wall.
Most scholars believe the stories of this creature arose from an attempt to explain the loss of a child with sickle cell anemia. Even today, infant deaths are very common among the people born with sickle cell anemia, especially in the areas of Africa lacking medical resources to treat the condition. Did we ever talk about what sickle cell anemia is?
Isn't it like the red blood cells? They're
sickle shaped, so they don't hold as much oxygen.
Right, they're smaller and misshapen.
But malaria can attack them.
Can or cannot?
Can't. So it's an adaptation to deal with malaria.
Oh wow, okay.
So it's very rare to die from malaria
if you
have sickle cell anemia.
Okay.
Because it's an adaptation.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it also causes problems other way.
Right. Yeah.
The similar between European changelings and this tribe in Africa's changelings is often translated in the word changeling. They use the same word. The Abawu was a rough analog to this related to the Yoruba people, which is west of the original tribe I was talking about. I just can't read these words.
Oh, okay. Right. Correct.
But yeah, they also had another version that was very similar to European changelings.
Okay.
So let's talk about what changelings are, what they could be. So first off, the big one is just medical explanations. These are kids in a time that were born where genetic disorders were not properly understood or families did not have the ability to take care of kids. So there may have been some either rationalization or superstitions around kids born this way and were quickly gotten rid of.
I can see that.
So
I don't think we can roll that out.
everything from developmental disabilities, neurodivergentism, which would be like, I've never been, ADHD is what I was originally
diagnosed with.
But I guarantee I'm on the spectrum somewhere with just my behaviors and characteristics and whatnot.
I'm almost willing to guarantee, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere. I mean, it's whatever. So in a time where that stuff was more rare, whether it was because less people, less whatever, and you get a child like that, like I said earlier in the episode, you've had 8 children. You know what kids act like. So now you have a neurodivergent child that acts nothing like that. It kind of would freak you out.
You just tell you something's wrong.
Yeah, it'd freak you out.
Yeah.
Another thing is just severe disabilities, where this legends were made to basically euthanize kids with severe disabilities in a time where they could not take care of them.
Okay.
And the legends were kind of made to make them feel better about doing this.
Gotcha.
Everything from spina bifida, cystic fibrosis, Down syndrome, Williamson syndrome, Huller syndrome, Hunter syndrome, autism spectrum disorder, Prader-Willi syndrome, and cerebral palsy, or just to name a few that were commonly these kids that were born in these times were killed if they had these diseases.
Right, yeah.
Some of them, you could physically see very quickly where you look different, which, Down syndrome is one where you can tell if a child's born with Down syndrome very quickly.
Yeah.
So, just odd. Greater incidence of congenital diseases, also congenital disabilities in boys, would also, be more likely to be viewed as fairy stuff as well. So that's the first big one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely plays some part of it because, well, we know medical research or just medical technology, even though now it's still not that good, but it's still more advanced. We have a better knowledge commonly as people, like, of all these different conditions that do exist and mental disorders that exist that we have documented or information about now where, 150 years ago, it might have been a brand new thing or something that wasn't discussed or wasn't dealt with. I don't know.
So in nature, there are species of birds, fish, arthropods who regularly practice brood parasitism or non-reproductive offspring swapping. Rather than raising their own young alone, they'll lay their eggs in another's nest, leaving a burden to raise on other, creatures. So there's always a chance that these mythical creatures, these hidden things in the world, whether they are actually, let's say they're fully fae, let's say they're 100% fae, they're another creature from another world, they may actually just be doing this as a type of nest parasitism.
Okay.
Where it's just easier to let somebody else and then swap in later and take them.
Right, yeah.
Take them back, or they know to return. Like I'm trying to remember the birds that do it. I think it's mockingjays, but I'm probably wrong. They know that's not their parent. They know that they'll get out. A lot of times they hatch quicker so they can push all the other eggs out.
Right, yep.
Or they get big enough to eat their new siblings.
Yeah.
So they know they're not them. It's not, it's not a mystery to them. And then when they go back, they don't try to mate with the species they were laid with.
Right.
They go mate with their original species.
Right.
So it could be something to that. And it could be even more nefarious. So demons got brought up several times in both these episodes, to where even in modern day, they talk about Satanism, demonic worship, all this stuff with baby sacrifices. So stealing a baby is leaving behind something magical in its place that's only temporary.
Right, yeah.
So you can get away with it before.
And we know how demons, they will do the most unethical things, and especially dealing with children and babies in general, because it's, what do they say? It's the purest or closest thing to like God's creation is a human baby, a newborn baby. So attacking that is almost like a direct attack on God.
Yeah, and then, so I think it could be a big mix thing. So that's for kids. Let's talk about the adult side of this.
Okay.
So if you couldn't tie it together, which I'm sure you have because we did this back to back, but for everybody at home, when adults get taken by the Fae and become changelings, a lot of times, let's remember to the first episode in Doppelgängers.
Yeah.
It's a lot of women. Most of the stories were women. It's
Right.
a lot of mothers and a lot of newlywed women.
Right.
A lot of those stories were specifically moms.
Right.
Whether it is for maternal reasons or not, it just seems to be the 4 row. But in these ancient stories, a lot of times when an adult's going to get taken by a changeling, it is witnessed by other people first. Other people see the changeling and then immediately see it. That's been talked about for thousands of years.
Yes.
So these same stories, they are following the modernness, where whether I don't even know if these people ever got replaced, but they're still doing the thing where they're practicing being them. They don't talk ever in these stories.
Nope.
A lot of them don't talk because the jig's up.
Yeah.
Because they can't match the voice.
Right.
They talk about that in these stories where Fae don't talk to you because they use like telepathy.
Right.
They don't move their mouth. So the jig would be up. They can't speak English. They can't speak,
Give it away pretty fast.
Yeah. So I really do think that a lot of these stories about doppelgangers could either be good, bad, and different Fae encounters where, let's say you're butting into, the Fae's just practicing. I don't know if they're going to steal a person or not.
Mm-hmm.
They maybe can't anymore. We talk about Fae energy levels maybe being down if they're tied to the environments or whatever. Maybe they can't fully just grab a person anymore.
Right.
But
they don't have the power.
It's still something they enjoy doing, pretending to be somebody.
Okay.
So they're just walking through, screwing with you.
They can still imitate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about all this?
I mean, I don't disagree with it at all. I mean, especially with just the people missing it. I'm willing to say that they're just swapping them out. They're swapping them out, but at the end of the day, we don't know. We don't know their purpose, their meaning, or if that's even what's actually happening, or if it is just a common threaded psychotic issue that we don't know how to explain or diagnose, where you just literally see things. And I don't know.
There's also, I didn't even touch on this, with postpartum depression.
Yeah.
There is I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. I should have looked it up. Where mothers will think that in modern day, mothers will think that their babies aren't theirs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know.
It's a part of postpartum.
I've witnessed it, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so in days where maybe that wasn't as watched as close, moms can kill babies.
I could see that. And
so that could be another thing to be like, how to rationalize it or how to not, be so upset with yourself. Because postpartum, I've known people that have gone through it. And
my friend's mom I'll share this story, is pretty funny.
Postpartum's funny?
No, but now this part is. So she's Puerto Rican, and his dad is a white guy, and so she was giving birth to him. So he's half Puerto Rican and half white, So when he came out, kind of tanner skin, dark hair, and for some reason in her head, it was going to be a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, white skinned baby. Mm-hmm. So when he came out, and it was all 100% postpartum. That's why it's funny now, because he tells me the story, and so does her sisters. They tell me that the mom was just like, "That's not my baby." Like she convinced herself it wasn't, because he didn't come out the way in her head she was predicting him to look like. So she was just full on. But they said she really didn't believe it. That was her baby. She was in full disbelief. She rejected him at the hospital. It wasn't hers. They tried to swap him. She was convinced, but nope, it's him. And now it's 100% her kid. There's no denying it anymore. But it was just funny looking back. I don't know. Changeling. That's what I'm gonna tell her now. It's probably just a changeling this whole time.
Get some eggshells and then beat him.
Yeah, I'll have to start doing that around him and see what he does.
Throw eggshells in his face and start whipping him. All right, I have been the great and powerful Mystery.
And I've been Jay, clone something.
We'll catch you next week, guys.
Bye.
Hey guys, thank you for listening to Cryptids of the Corn podcast. Remember, the best way to support the show is share it with a friend. But if you are craving more of the J clones
and more from Mr. E,
there's always extra content on Patreon
and our paid member space on cryptidsofthecorn.com.
We'll catch you next time with more exciting, fun, and informative information. Bye.